Other Side. I'm your host, Wesley.
I'm Will.
Alright, today we are going to be
Thanos.
talking about Thanos, the big baddie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Some people aren't very clear on who he is, what his motivations are, and what have we seen so far. And when is he actually going to get off his ass and do something, apparently very soon, as Avengers Infinity War is coming.
Alright, now Thanos has just been the puppet master. We didn't even know he was going to be part of the universe until the end of the Avengers. And
to challenge them is to court death.
yeah, he's got that smile. Like that's what I want. I want a good fight.
Yep, and every comic book fan in the theater said, "Hey, I know that guy," and everyone else went home and went to Wikipedia and said, "Who the hell is that purple guy?
And why does he even matter?
And why does he matter?"
So Guardians in the Galaxy, we get to see him again. He's on his throne. He's ready to lay down the smack. You know, give me the stone, and it didn't really go too well.
No, and then finally, at the end of the Avengers 2, we see him getting ready to get into action as he puts on his gauntlet. And
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Do this myself.
Exactly. So Thanos, brief background. Don't want to get too much into the comics because Marvel Universe, they're cinematic. They can steer away from that. But basically, who he is one of the Titans. He worships. He is actually more than worships. He's in love with death in the comics and killed off half of his own race. He's all about death. Yeah, that's all he does.
I wonder if they're even going to touch on death, or are they just going to say
he wants
the gauntlet so he can become God? And I think they're going to leave death out of it.
Well, they don't have to
confusing.
They don't have to put the personification that's in the comics, but I just think the idea that this guy worships death, you could keep that in and it'd be just fine. Talked about his appearances. He's got his daughters.
Yeah, Gamora. We saw him in Nebula. Now Nebula in the Infinity War series, Infinity Gauntlet, she plays a huge part. So it's going to be interesting to see her. I hope they don't deviate from that. I hope that his daughter, if you don't remember, she's the blue one that was kind of mechanical, and she's there when they're having their meeting with Thanos, and
obviously has no love for him.
Yeah, in that story, she plays a big part. So hopefully they stay true to that part. Another person that plays a big part was Adam Warlock. Now, if you watched Guardians of the Galaxy, if you've seen, there's one scene when they're talking with the Collector. There's a green cocoon in one of those glass cases, and then Marvel came out later and they said, yeah, that's Adam Warlock's cocoon. Now, Adam Warlock goes into a cocoon to repower, and the only reason I bring him up is because he's another person that helps the Avengers lay the smackdown on Thanos, because he's badass.
Yeah, he's definitely badass.
So we've seen 4 gems.
Yes, the 4 Infinity Stones we've seen. We've got the gem that was in the Tesseract. We've got...
the Tesseract was first seen in Captain America.
Yeah, the blue Rubik's Cube.
And we watched Red Skull evaporate into the air.
Yeah, poor guy.
We don't touch the stones.
Yeah, the Gem of Mind, that was in the Scepter, of course, is where... Powered Ultron, that's where that brain came from, and now sits in Vision's forehead, which
I had an interesting question about that. Obviously, if Thanos is going to get the glove, then he's got to get that gem from Vision. What happens to Vision?
Vision. Well, Vision has died many times in the comics. I don't see this turning out well for Vision.
Poor Vision.
Yeah.
The other stone we saw was in Guardians of the Galaxy, where they all held hands, and that was the Power Stone.
Yes.
And they were able to contain the power, because they're a great team.
Confusing one that was in Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, the Aether.
Yeah, the Ether.
And that was supposed to be the reality gem, I think. And I don't know, that one was kind of foggy. I wish they would have went a little more into detail. Maybe in Thor: Ragnarok.
Perhaps they might touch on it again.
Which I didn't understand why they left that out in Guardians of the Galaxy, because technically they gave it to the Collector.
Yeah, the Collector technically
and then he had the power.
2.
Yeah.
But that leaves us with the Soul Gem and the Time Gem. Obviously, those will pop up somewhere. They might save one for part 1 of the Infinity Wars. That would make plenty of sense. Because they've only got so many movies leading up to Infinity War. Are we going to see Thanos collecting these personally, or are we going to start Infinity War and he's already got a few of them, or will the first part be him collecting these various gems and then at the end he has them? I'm really wondering how that's going to work out.
I want to see him mix it up with someone. You know, I want more than just 2 movies, you know. Anything else we can throw in there about Thanos?
Not too much. He's purple. He dresses flamboyantly.
What happens when he gets the glove?
I don't know. Well, if it's anything like that, I imagine he looks like a dipshit.
Well, that's the other side. We'll see you next week. I take it back. I take it back.